discussion and editorial radio. Now here's Joel, Mike, and Ed.
And then I had my fist up in there, and you wouldn't believe how it smelled when I pulled it out.
I think I would, Kyle. I think I would.
You kept sniffing it.
I think I know.
Did you guys ever see? I wish I knew the name of the company, and I'll have to look it up and send you guys a link or whatever. But there was somebody who was selling lightsabers, and you could totally take off the casing, and it had all it basically you could totally take this lightsaber apart, and you could see all the fake shit inside of it, down to the crystal that lit up.
Yes.
Huh?
The Kyber crystal.
Yeah, but you could actually replace the crystal, and the crystal was LED lit up.
Yeah.
And you could totally put the casing back on and all that. Had a removable saber, actual saber. Yeah, the blade came out.
Came out like that.
Yeah. But some company they were really expensive, but it looked really, really cool.
I seem to remember that.
But you could totally take the entire. You could take it all if you were actually having to maintain your lightsaber.
Yeah, there was LEDs inside and everything. It was
and it had all sorts of they were kind of janky sounds, but they had a whole bunch of different hums. So if you were in a room full of people that had them, you could all switch your lightsabers to have the different. So it wasn't one big harmonic hum. It was different layers of.
Why is that dangerous to have them all at the same frequency?
No, but they would sound different. That it would sound like that you had your own lightsaber. That
Somewhere down the street, a nerd shatters.
Oh my God! The harmonic resonance.
That was one thing I always liked about Knights of the Old Republic. Not Knights of the Old Republic, the Old Republic, the MMO that they came out with, was all the lightsabers, the different handles, a lot of them had different sounds. So you could actually have different ignition sounds and humming sounds depending on what your lightsaber was. So I always got this one that looked like a wooden handle, and it had this whoosh sound. It always made me feel cool.
Wow. Handle, that's old
It's
school.
not like a didgeridoo.
Mine would look like a corn cob.
Yours is a corn
with a big red button on the side.
With a red corn nugget or red corn kernel.
Oh, you have one corner.
One kernel. So toys.
Fuck yeah.
Now I'm present.
Yeah, man. I gotta say,
what do you guys like about them? What have you picked up lately?
well, Carl, Joel was just asking as we were starting, what's our Kessel run? What have we picked up? And I really haven't picked up much since The Force Awakens. Initially, I thought I was going to do no toys since I just purged all my toys, really, except for these, of course. Now I'm a liar. What toys, guys? But I picked up the 4-pack from The Force Awakens. I have a lot of disappointment when it comes to this new era of toys. We railed against the 4 parts of articulation, 5 really. This Kenner throwback bullshit they've been pushing on us.
Well, it's not really a Kenner throwback though. That is bullshit.
Well, yeah. So I mean, here's Rey. Here comes Rey. She doesn't have a last name. She's wearing the Sandy outfit from Jakku, and she looks great standing there, but that's all she can do. She can stand, and she can do the oi, where's my bus?
Yeah.
But again, the detail is great. The face sculpts are super tight. And that's all you get for the same price that we used to get a super articulated character for. They did make some super articulated characters, but you could only get them at Kmart and or Walmart, and they were $20 to get those. So
yeah, that was we actually brought that up before. We talked about having a 5-point articulation line, but something being for $4. And so now everything comes with 5 points of articulation, and they're still $10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like they missed the point.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. And the problem is because all the fans buy everything that says Star Wars, they don't see a bump in the purchasing, right? It's just
Right.
more. So they started pulling away the super articulated because there was an issue with plastic a couple of years ago where the price skyrocketed or there wasn't enough to go around or both. And it was really more expensive to make a lot of this stuff. And that's still true today. However, when you go to, say, Toys R Us and you go to the Star Wars aisle, you see like this many figures. Some are the 5 points like this. You've got the 6-inch Black Series line. You've got those fucking 3-foot tall mascot figures that are ridiculous.
Right.
So they are still making plastic things, but to me, it's like they're just making random shit because then you'll see like, oh, here comes Finn, but he's actually a drone that you can fly around for no reason, you know?
Yeah. Well,
animatronic Chewbacca, just crazy dumb shit.
like that Nerf Falcon, that janky Nerf Falcon that was like $120.
Oh, air hogs.
No.
Oh,
It's
Nerf?
just like the regular toy for the
Yeah.
Falcon.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
like, it was nothing and more expensive than if you got the BMF way back when.
Yeah, I think for the same price, you could probably find the BMF on eBay for that Nerf
It
Falcon.
is a lot. Like it's so odd. Like the look oh my god, dude! If the toy aisle in Toys R Us looked in however many years ago that we started doing this podcast, looked like the way it does now. If it looked like it then, like if we just walked in and randomly it was that big,
Mm-hmm.
my pants would explode. I'd be dead. However, when you walk into it, there's nothing cool in there. There's backpacks and things that you use to decorate your backpack.
And like eye speakers that look like the Death Star.
Death
Now-
Star speakers and like all sorts of like stuffed animals and mugs and
Bedding.
all sorts of just dumb stuff. And then you've got this little weird section of figures, and then the figures are all kind of like straight like that with the arms and the legs. But then they've got the 6-inch figures, which I'm not in bed with yet. Like I've got like one Jared got me, and I've got like the black dude from the new movie.
Mhm.
I got like 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like the Black Series. Like I got a couple of the troopers. First order, and like the first order one's kind of janky compared to the original OG trooper. The OG trooper's like awesome. But yeah, I was telling Mikey that it's kind of funny that if you got the original Han Solo is the perfect A New Hope Han Solo from the Black Series, that he came with like both his belt and the Stormtrooper belt, regular hands and gloved hands. But now, if you want a C-3PO with a silver leg, like the old school C-3PO, you got to buy it for $30 at Walgreens.
Right. Yeah.
But you can get orange arm C-3PO at Walmart.
Yeah, but like, why doesn't the C-3PO just like come with
with
the next
both arms.
come with both arm and both leg? You know?
Yeah, I mean, one could argue they want you to buy all the different versions, but it's so fucking expensive. Like, that's why I never wanted to get into it, because the entry point was so high.
You know,
Well,
and I'm sorry. The thing I'm wondering though is who's buying the toys anymore? Like, and is that why we're seeing such a decline in the overall number of toys being sold? And we're seeing very specific stuff like the 6-inch figures or the stuff that's made for collectors. Because when I was working at Toys R Us, kids weren't buying action figures anymore. You know, it's like kids play video games. Like that's why you see the backpacks, you see like the goofy stuff like the flying fin or whatever. It's like because kids don't buy action figures anymore. It's the collectors. And like Ed said, these collectors will buy anything that has Star Wars on it. So if you put out a 5-point articulated figure that has a crappy paint job, or like, you know, or if you're forcing people to collect like 5 different versions just to get the one character that you want, or like the one version of the character that you want, like the collectors are going to do that. Kids aren't going to do that. And they kind of know that like that's where their cash is, and they don't seem to really care beyond that.
Well, there is a weird phenomenon, and I don't understand it. And I asked this dude. There's a guy online named Adam Paulus, and he runs I Am 8-Bit, and like he does like a figure of the day blog, and he works for Entertainment Earth. And so I was asking him, you know, those 12-inch, they're really skinny shouldered They're the 12-inch figures from Hasbro. They do them in all the lines. And they all look like shampoo bottles.
Mhm.
Right.
They
Yeah.
look like the cheapest shit.
Accurate.
I kept on asking Adam, who buys those? Why are they selling? And he said that kids love them
Mexicans.
and they sell them.
Because they look like the knockoffs.
Hey, look, we can order the knockoff. But everyone said that they were at a price point, and they're not. They're really expensive for what they are, and they're ugly.
Agreed.
It makes no sense.
And also to what Carl was saying, I feel like when you limit the characters, right, by just numbers, because even if when TFA first came out, there just wasn't a lot of figures for the main characters, and to get a certain version, like to get Poe with a removable helmet, you had to get something else where the helmet came off. To get BB-8, you had to get that shitty Falcon. So they're not even trying to foster a world of play like Kenner used to. Kenner worked because it wasn't just because you had figures, but they're like, all right, yeah, it's 5 points because it's 1977. However, let's make a world. Let's make stuff that they can interact with. Let's build.
It's a good round cast of characters within the initial 12, and it just felt like a very round selection in any direction. Good guy, bad guy, whatever. Like it did. I agree with you that when The Force Awakens came out, it was like this bizarre mix and these odd combinations. And BB-8, BB-8 came out like you could get BB-8 with the Falcon, and you can get BB-8 with later on. It came in like a 4-pack or a 5-pack where you would get. Yeah, there's like 3 ways to get him, and it's strange. And even the cast is bizarre. Like it's just unbalanced, and it feels
One part of articulation. One.
And smaller than an way smaller than an R2D2 figure.
Yeah, I mean he should be,
Yeah,
but which is fine. There's R2.
yeah.
Like I want to see.
Oh, R2's depressed. Come on, R2. Come on.
I want to see the numbers for like the toys, because like Mikey goes out a lot and like checks out the stuff, but it's like at Walmart and Target when I looked, Mikey and I are usually like looking for like Transformer stuff, and the Transformer aisle has been empty and devoid for months,
Like literally.
like just a smattering of things, and the Star Wars aisle is always absolutely full and looks like it had just been replenished every time. And so I don't know like how well stuff is selling.
Yeah.
It is weird. It's real weird. However, we'll get back to Star Wars. The Transformer aisle, it looks like it was like raptured by the robot god.
Yeah.
But, however, there's always RID stuff there, which is
It's the kid show.
the kid show. So there is always the kid show toys. It makes me feel, I was like, I really think they're trying to end this on us. We're screwed. But then Star Wars always looks completely blocked. And the range, the price range, like you can get the interactive BB-8, like the $150 app controlled at Target. There's like, they've got high-end stuff in the toy aisle.
Right.
All the way down to the Safubi looking things.
Yeah,
You know, the shampoo bottle deals. So I mean, the range is huge, and it's all there.
And speaking of like weird cheapy Safubi stuff, Mike got me this guy from Big Lots,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess he's like, he's about 6 inches tall. His arms and head move. That's it.
Just the arms and head, and the gun is planted in his hand.
Yeah, and the gun is permanent.
What this fucking weird shit, and it's licensed too, which is
No, it's Hasbro. Hasbro actually made this.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like
It's weird,
right.
but
It's like they almost
the
took-
head is on a ball joint.
It's not, or it is.
It is.
Oh, okay.
But you see, like that, like my love is kind of like, and I showed you pictures before, like I'll just wait for and get the SH Figure Arts. That's like beautiful.
Right, but you got to like really hunt for this stuff now. You know,
Generally, yeah.
generally they're not toys. That's like a.
And then, yeah, the only thing I picked up from Rogue One was I picked up that droid.
Yeah, asshole droid. K2 asshole.
No, it's
I'm
like
not knocking him.
no, it's like this is Ash Wood's Pop Bot. that
God damn it.
that they totally fucking
And you totally thought it was him?
because
Well,
they look identical. Look at that. Look at that.
You're right. You're right.
This is gorgeous, dude. Is this figure art?
But yeah, the figure arts can kind of get pricey if you don't jump on them.
Right. But I mean, there's another factor that we're probably have underestimated in all our years of doing VOR, which is, when the stuff first started coming out, we were, 20s and 30s, and we're working, and Star Wars is back, so we're spending on all these toys for ourselves. But a lot of us had kids, and we're having kids at the time, so when they came of age, then we could buy them toys and us toys. So that was like the prime of VOR, I feel like. But then, the kids get older, and then they're not playing with it anymore. They moved on. They're not quite working and making Star Wars money yet, like to pay for the toys. So now I think we're in a period of just adult collectors for the most part. And the excuse of like, well, this is just the way the world is, Ed, because all the kids are on the cell phones now. That's how it is. I'm like, well, bullshit, because that's an excuse to not try. Disney did the episode 1 thing where it's like, all right, now we get the property. We're going to blow their minds with all the variety. We're going to cover all our bases instead of focusing on the niche, which has worked for the last 30 to 40 years, which is toys and action figures. That's why you go there and you've got the backpacks and change purses and electronic bullshit and salt and pepper shakers all in a toy aisle. And then you got this many actual toys, Well,
Well,
and then they're out of reach. A shitty little X-Wing, not this big motherfucker, but back down to 77 scale, is now back up to like $50-$60.
Right. I don't understand it.
No,
Well,
but people pay it too.
I want to throw something out there, a question, and then something that I read. The question being, if, like Carl said, it's the understanding that everyone is adult who's buying the Star Wars action figures, then if those are becoming adult collectors items totally, like almost exclusively, then why even bother with the childish oriented ones? Why not just go full bore with the more detailed, just make it an adult collector? And when I say that, I mean surpass the fucking 6-inch black line. To me, that's just a slightly larger version of the figure, because the artwork on the face is not better. And I will walk up to a person who does that for a living and say that you suck, because a lot of those faces are dirt. Now there's that. However, I was reading an article online with regards to the third party and this is more focused towards Transformers, how the third party affects, let's just call it Hasbro. I understand it's Takara Tomy and Hasbro, blah, blah, blah. We're just going to say Hasbro. All right. So there's the third party people who make versions of the Transformers. They'll rename them, but they're doing awesome, incredible, wonderful work. And what this is doing, Hasbro has essentially allowed these people, rather than going in and ending them, they're basically allowing the third-party people to do all the market research. And they're just kind of coming in and taking their numbers and taking cue from their figures and helping this to grow their own product and letting these guys live. It's almost like a symbiotic relationship, almost like
great.
So we bring it back into Star Wars. However, if that's the case, then why isn't... Okay, one other detail. It's established that Hasbro, what they're doing is they change the scale of their characters. So let's just say that you are a Transformer fan and you want to have a group of the core characters in one scale so that they all work together. Hasbro will put out a line and they'll put out a ton of characters, and in that ton of characters there'll be like 6 of the core characters, and you'll collect them up. You'll get your Prime, you'll get your Bumblebee, you'll get your Springer, and then they'll end that and they'll have a new series come up the next year, and it'll be a slightly different scale, and they'll put a couple more guys that you need. But when you finally get all the characters you need, they're out of scale with one another. So that keeps you always on the chain, hanging out, waiting to eventually have a shelf with the 12 guys that you want in the same scale. They're just never going to give it to you. So is Star Wars in that? Are we in that? Are they just forever giving us half of what we want?
Well, one thing that Adam Paulus guy said was that kids are buying toys, but it's a lot more scattershot. You know, like they might pick up 3 figures, but then spend money on a video game and then Lego. You know, but not all the kids have all the Lego sets. Not all the kids have all the action figures.
So there's a spread. They're spreading it around.
Right. So that's why there's this weird non-cohesion sometimes.
Then you get those weird little boys that want the littlest pet shop stuff.
Shut up!
Boys. Littlest pet shop boy.
One really neat thing that like Mikey mentioning Takara Tomy is that they've been, you know, because they've got the kind of the sister license with with Hasbro, and that they did this line called the Metal Collection, and they're basically 3/4 inch, but they're made of die-cast metal. The arms move and the head move, and really good sculpts, really like simple paint jobs, but they look really good. Of course, if you drop them on concrete, they're going to chip and like look nasty after a while. But they're really stinking neat, and they're like $6 each.
Damn.
And like it's almost like, you know, the perfect kind of just like and they come in like little boxes too. What I also wanted to show off was this is from Takara Tomy, it's just a Matchbox car.
Nice.
And like they never offered this that looked like this. This was $4.
Nice.
$4 imported, and all it is just a little car. But like they've never really done the land speeder that looked, you know, like with the damaged, you know, like engine and everything like that. So like I don't know, there is weird stuff out there, but yeah, the kids aren't getting a hold of it. Not normal kids.
Yeah.
Just nerds.
And you know, and I don't think kids like to collect as much anymore. Like Joel was saying, it's spread out. Like you don't have the money. Like when you have to choose between a $60 video game or buying, you know, like 4 or 5 action figures, I think that's a pretty easy choice for a lot of kids this day and age, because like the focus is on video games. It's on the entertainment. You know, it's like, I don't know. It's like, even if I was a kid at this point in my life, like I probably pick the video games over toys, you know, even though like growing up, I played with nothing but toys, you know, it's like, but if I had the option, I'd probably play video games. So.
Well, the one weird thing is that when we were growing up, we could get, for $10, we could get 3 action figures.
Yeah.
And like nowadays, there's very simple articulation and everything. But if you notice, like with Rebels and like, you know, like they're toward the end of Clone War, they started putting out 2-packs to try to push it toward the $10 price point. Mm-hmm. And so there are no just $3 or $4 toys anymore. Or if they have a single figure, now they come with like a backpack and like, you know, like a grappling hook, or they come with all this extra crap.
Yeah, yeah. But you know, there's another thing to that, and why, you know, video games versus playing with toys. You know, not only were the video games not as sophisticated when we were younger, but you know, we would play with these things. We would play alone, but we'd also play with each other. And if you can now go online, as I do when I play GTA, and you have all these other kids on there, they're still playing something, but they're playing online and interacting, as opposed to me going over to like Carl's house to play G.I. Joe, and we have this huge adventure all afternoon. Instead, kids are inside at home where it's safe, where they can't have stranger danger or fall off the monkey bars. And they're not interacting the way they used to. So I think that's definitely a factor, you know?
Yeah, one kind of addition to that is that it is killing me that they canceled Disney Infinity.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
It just kills me. I don't know.
I thought it was doing really well too, wasn't it? Like, did they ever say why it got canceled?
Well, it's basically they made a couple of weird missteps. Like they thought that the Hulk would be very famous, that it would sell really well. So somewhere, much like the ET cartridges, there's a warehouse somewhere with 1 million unsold Hulks, literally 1 million, and they just over. But really, when it gets down to brass tacks, Disney wants to sub-license their stuff. They don't want to make it themselves. They would rather someone pay them to make it. Well,
kind of like what they're doing with video games and EA now, because Disney, like, they've sub-licensed basically almost all their development out to EA. You know, even their mobile apps for Star Wars is developed by EA now. So
one cool thing is that apparently Warner Brothers, I don't know if they're still going under the name Avalanche, but Avalanche, the people who made Disney Infinity, Warner Brothers bought whoever was left in Utah, in Salt Lake City, and they formed a new company, and they're making a Cars 3. And everyone kind of is hinting that there is the possibility that Warner Brothers might bring back Disney Infinity, but that's a lot of costs on them, and I don't know. That's a lot of, you know, because now you're getting into the sculpting, the creating, bringing those over from, you know, like all the. I don't know. I thought Disney Infinity was brilliant.
yeah.
It was gorgeous. The design of those characters, just the figures themselves. Like, I'm just focusing on the figures. He played the game. However, I do want to toss this out, and this has nothing to do with Star Wars. But who in their right mind would think that the Incredible Hulk could be that good? Like, fuck them. That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard. Like, if the internet's out there, I want them to kiss my ass if they like the Hulk, because that's stupid.
Well, in their defense, like a lot of the other characters, like they just made a couple 100,000. They made 2 million of the Hulk, and 1 million sold.
That is a weird gamble.
That is just the stupidest gamble I've ever heard. Yeah.
Yeah, to me, I would have like, dude, make 500,000. If they sell out, we'll make more.
Now, here's something interesting. I don't know if you guys have ever heard this, but I remember working at GameStop, and there was a big article about how they would change the covers of the video games specifically for Marvel stuff. Because, you know, like a lot of American stuff is like Captain America. He's on the cover, and like, you know, these like very American characters. Apparently, the Hulk is very, very popular internationally, and he's always on the cover of like international releases of the games and stuff like that. So that's probably their reasoning behind it. And like Joel said, they did sell 1 million of the 2 million. So that's not shabby and everything, but I think they might have overestimated the foreign market, is what it sounds like. Or
it's like the mix and the people like that are over there, like buying them up. Like, that's just the dumbest thing ever. It's a shitty character.
But apparently, you know, Jerry Lewis was big in France, so why not the Hulk?
right.
I hate Europe.
Awesome.
Europe.
Well, hey, let's wrap this one up for today. And we'll come back and we'll bitch about something else tomorrow. How about that?
Sounds good.
What we do best.
Bye.
Bye.
Check out the shows. Bye.